Wow, this would be such a good video to watch on Halloween. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is a virtual reality zombie game based on the Robert Kirkman comic books, much like every other Walking Dead video game. Luckily for you, and even luckier for me, this isn't one of the bad Walking Dead games like Destiny's or the stupid Wii U game. Hell, the TV show ran for fucking 11 seasons. On your journey, you'll be exploring the flooded streets of New Orleans, playing as a man or a woman who goes by the Tourist. Traveling to different locations on your itty-bitty skiff, you'll need to stash just about anything you can find, chop up walkers into delicious Wagyu, and uncover any hidden secrets about the infamous Reserve. So if you get bitten, might want to bring some ibuprofen. So the first thing you see when you start the game is the tutorial. It teaches you how to heal, how stamina works, and how to defend yourself from walkers with guns and melee weapons. The tutorial ends when you talk to this guy, but I like to kill him a few times. Also, I found out that you can shoot yourself in the head, which, yes, does kill you, so you might want to not do that. And with the tutorial finished, it's time to head out into NOLA. First, you meet this old man, Henri. He gives you the gist of what's going on in the city. The whole place is on the brink of war between two sides. On one side, the Tower, a militaristic-like faction decked in blue, led by a woman who goes by Mama, and her second-in-command, Georgia. Both rule with an iron fist. Anyone who questions the rules are exiled or executed. Their main base of operation, the tallest tower in NOLA, the Crescent City Tower. On the other side, there is the Reclaimed, a group that is literally a cult, because nowadays you can't have a zombie game without a cult. Wearing red, they've got deer skulls as helmets and armor, and even have a ritual where they'll hang people by their feet and let them slowly die. Their leader, JB, hosts a little radio show where he'll play music and spread his ideas or something.
Hello.
Both sides are eager to uncover a military bunker known as the Reserve, filled with weeks of food, meds, and military-grade weapons. Whichever faction can find it first gets a huge edge over the other. However, Henri has the best lead, and he'll promise to split the supplies. So you ride a small wooden boat to meet where Henri lives, but 3 walkers take down your boat. But it's okay, I've got a gun in my backpack. Nope, I'm out of ammo. Guess I'll die. Somehow I survived. I don't know how. Welcome to, a graveyard. Surely a safe place to be. This serves as an extra tutorial, like how to climb walls and how to kill walkers with a screwdriver. Excuse me, sir, do you know where I can find the flatheads? Guess not. So we keep going further until we find Henri. Hey man, wanna hang out? Henri tells us that he was attacked by Tower and Reclaimed, which explains the bodies everywhere. He tells us not to let his stuff go to waste, and something about waterfall. Just go to Canada, they got one there, you know. Well, he's dead. Oh, fuck. Okay, now he's dead. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the resting place, your go-to place to sleep, craft items, and fear for your life. Don't worry, a graveyard is your safe space. You can say anything here, and no one will hear you. Also, how is there a bus here? Where did it come from? Anyway, stepping inside the bus, with, no seats? Come on, man, I just want to get to school. We find a notebook, an antenna, and a car battery. Attaching them to the radio at the front, it doesn't work. Got fucking scammed on Facebook Marketplace. So we look at our task list and we need to go somewhere to find a microphone, because Radio Shack went out of business. Finally, we take a swig from this flask to end the night, like most college students probably do. Before going over the story, I want to talk about the locations where I'll be chopping walkers into bits, and the weapons I'll be using as well. There's a large variety of weapons in this game, from small guns to big guns, small knives to big knives. Whatever you use, it'll be quite effective. Some weapons can be found out in the world, but will be similar quality to a Temu product. You'll mainly want to find items to scrap and craft your own weapons. For knives, you have a shiv, like in prison. The night shift, like Five Nights at Freddy's, it's a better shiv but allows you to cut instead of stab. And a cleaver, which can actually decapitate people. For large weapons, some of these have to be held with 2 hands or else they'll wobble around like a wet noodle. You've got a nail bat, and my personal favorite weapon, the leaf cutter. Basically a ninja sword, capable of decapitation and cutting off people's arms. There are even weapons that can only be found out in the world, like axes, crowbars. You can also break bottles you find to stab to your heart's content. Get spooned, dumbass. There's also nail bombs, which I don't like. They scare me, and I'm just terrified these things will blow up in my hand. Finally, we're on to guns, the superior weapon to knives, because this isn't England, this is the goddamn USA. Like melee weapons, there's small and large guns. The latter also need 2 hands to be used effectively. There's not a lot of small guns, a 30 caliber revolver, good for getting the job done, and a 9mm pistol, which is a lot weaker but can hold more bullets. Now for the large weapons. You've got a double-barrel shotgun, a bolt-action rifle, which is a bitch to cock, a bow, which allows you to shoot 3 types of arrows, regular ones, which can be recovered if they don't break, lure arrows, which will lure enemies to where it was shot, and explosive arrows, which are self-explanatory. Yeah, last is a pump shotgun, able to shoot 8 shells and is a very, very powerful weapon. Now these aren't all the weapons, however. On your journey out into New Orleans, you'll come across extra recipes you can make, and some will be hidden in safes. For those, you need to find the extra piece of paper that has the code and a hint for where the safe is. Apparently I'm Indiana Jones now. These recipes are extremely good. 3 different kinds of foods which provide buffs when eaten, a better kind of bow, Fourth in Pain, a cooler cleaver, Esteemed Mortal, a better kind of axe, sticky proximity mines, robot time bombs, these claw-looking things called Semite's Hand, a 45 caliber revolver capable of literally blowing people's heads off, a lever-action rifle which is a satisfying weapon, I like the sound it makes when the lever is flipped, and what is probably the best gun in the game, the AR-16. This? I found at a Walmart. Now there's a few extra weapons on the same crafting bench as the guns. Essentially skins to already existing weapons. I'm guessing they're references to the TV show, which I haven't seen. There's the Judge, which is a bat covered in barbed wire, a National Guard knife, which does look pretty cool, the Sheriff, it sure makes me feel like a cowboy, and lastly, Absolution. Literally a ninja sword, which allows you to unleash your inner Raiden and go to town on these motherfuckers. I even found out that you can kebab decapitated heads. I'm not the crazy one, you are. So, after talking about owning illegal firearms, it's now time to talk about the scary locations. They're not that scary, honestly, except one. Heading to your skiff, you have your map where you'll pick the place you want to explore, and some of them will have extra bonuses like boxes of weapons, food, and med supplies, or, slight inconveniences like tower and reclaimed death squads who will patrol the location and shoot on sight. All of this info is obtained from your local news channel.
Everyone in McKinney is dead.
While you're out, you'll also encounter beggars. I didn't know what else to call them. You'll find them in different places around, and they'll ask for food, meds, or bandages, and they'll take literally anything. You could give them a box of Lunchly and they'll stuff it in their pockets. Now other people will point a gun at you and, yeah. This lady here needed some food, but I didn't have any with me, but I was able to find this can of dog food. But when I left this house to go give it to her, she got swarmed by walkers and I wasn't able to save her, which genuinely upset me. Anyway, first up, the Shallows, the first place you travel to, and it's pretty boring here. The only place of note is the Blue Mansion, with 3 floors, and even a safe you can unlock with a code from this lady, which gives you a recipe for the 45 caliber revolver, and a Glock. Via Corolla, which has 2 houses. One has golden lions, and the owner was a mob boss apparently. The other is just a house. Honestly, there's nothing special about it other than this garage you can crawl into. But that's about it. Memorial Lane, probably my favorite location. There's 2 houses here, but they seem to be at war with each other, much like American elections. The only thing separating them is a large tree, though the red house is a lot cooler because it has a secret door. Where's the key? I am not telling. That's where the secret is. Also, did you know walkers can break down doors? This genuinely terrified me. Old Town, the first location with 3 buildings. One is a normal house, the other has a power line pole crashed into it, and the third house is filled with nothing but paper, which is completely normal. Also, I found this cool panda bag. Aww. Did you know that pandas sometimes kill their children? Bastion is a place where it's always raining, somehow. One of these houses is a duplex house that is heavily fortified on both sides. Oh, hey ladies, care to eat 12 gauge? There's also this house that holds a bit of a secret. It's the car. Definitely. Bywater, the only location viewable on Google Maps and is geographically correct. There's a car mechanic, just in case you need some repairs, a lumber yard in case you need some lumber, and a fishing can place that isn't scary at all. The Ward, a place with a giant radio tower where you can find this album cover, and has a website on the back that takes you to the Walking Dead store. There's this fortress area near the radio tower that's pretty big. Would be a shame if someone snuck in. Then there's this shipping business that is totally normal. There's also this large room with tons of walkers that didn't scare me at all. You okay, man? The final location, and probably the most terrifying, Rampart High School. The whole place has been turned into a survivor relief camp with tents and beds, but now it's completely abandoned. And I swear to God, it is so damn dark in here, you have no idea how horrifying it is to walk around these hallways with no flashlight. Especially with the fucking ambient noises. Are the devs trying to give me a heart attack? Well, looks like that's all the locations. Would be a shame if someone were to... Oh, fuck. That's right, whenever you're out, you have a limited amount of time until the bells go off, also known as stirring the herd. Walkers will spawn endlessly and in large amounts, so if you hear those bells, it's time to go. Any NPC in the area will book it out of there. Oh, God damn it, lady. But if you really want to test your combat abilities, now would be the perfect opportunity. Imagine these bells going off when at the school. That would suck, right? I've essentially become a Navy SEAL. I feel like I'm in Call of Duty, but one of the good ones. That was a good time. Sayonara. I am incredibly tired. Now, if you really want to test your skills, might I suggest the trial mode. A gauntlet of 20 waves where killing walkers will give you points which you can spend to craft food, weapons, and bandages. Any kind of walker can spawn, and some will spawn a ring when killed, which gives you double points. You got 3 maps to choose from: Via Corolla, Memorial Lane, and Graveyard, which you may think is just the resting place, but it's actually its own unique map. Exploring around, you can find recipes for food buffs and weapons, and shooting these hanging walkers will give you these superfoods, which max out your health and stamina, fully repairs all your weapons, and gives you buffs. Getting to the higher rounds takes a lot of time, a lot of strategy, and a lot of energy. Literally. A full 20 rounds will make my whole head sweat. Now it's time to go over the story. Anyway, after getting situated in the bus, we head to the shallows to find a microphone to get in contact with someone on the radio. Arriving here, we meet this woman who asks us to go find her husband, who she locked up in the attic of the Blue Mansion, and return her wedding band. Oh, nice. Here's the microphone. Walking up to the attic, we find... Uh-oh. Sorry about this, man. He drops his wedding ring alongside a note that says he, uh-oh. Well, it's not my problem anymore. Giving her the ring, she gives us a code to a safe inside the house, so I go back and unlock it. I go back and unlock it, and get some cool stuff. Heading back to the bus, we attach the microphone, adjust the antenna, and say waterfall because this piece of paper said so. We get a reply from someone, and I tell him that I just really like waterfalls. He didn't really like that joke much, but after having a long conversation, a light flickers on and a noise is heard in the distance. Must have been the wind. But I go to investigate anyway and enter the catacombs where I find a skull. Making my way through, I reach a large field where I find a key and a drawing to where to use the key. Unlocking the gate, we find a note from a woman named May who thinks Henri is still alive, but is clearly not. The note basically wants us to go look for tower caches which have a lot of useful intel for her and supplies for me. So we head to Via Corolla to find our first tower cache, located near this house. Entering this garage and climbing up this ladder, there are guards everywhere. Hopefully none of them see me, and I think they just saw me. I spot the intel, but it'd be kinda hard to do it with all these people shooting at me, so I throw this propane tank at them in a fit of rage. They didn't take too kindly to that. After running away like a little baby bitch, I decide to go through this hole in the wall. Probably should have done that the first time. After sneakily grabbing the intel, I book it out of there and leave. After waking up, the dude is at the radio again, being nice to me this time. We learn that his name is Casey, and he says that he'll give us intel about the reserve if we help him find a pump regulator located in Memorial Lane. And there's talks about a fight going on between Tower and Reclaimed there. Before I head there, I go to the lantern where I find a note from May. She knows Henri died, and it wasn't me. Kind of. She wants to meet in a small area outside of a part of the catacombs. She tells us how these tower cache raids work. She gives me a drawing of a cache location, I go find the intel, return it to the coffin, rinse and repeat. And I need to keep helping her because she has a key that we need to find the reserve. Anyway, heading to Memorial Lane for the pump, we come across a tower patrol situated in a house. One of them says that his brother is being held hostage by Reclaimed in the other house, and said if I help him, I can have whatever I find in their house. So I climb inside and meet with the reclaimed folks. They kidnapped him because this guy killed this guy's daughter and wants me to kill him, saying that if I do, they'll go over and kill the rest of the tower guards, granting me access to the stuff in the house. It's a tough choice, but gotta do it, man. Just kidding, it's time for a shootout, which nearly killed me. But I can finally enter the house and find the pump regulator. When I come back to the bus, Casey gives us info, and surprise, surprise, he's in the reserve right now. After telling him about the regulator, Casey is too damn tired to fix it, even though it's only a matter of time before water fills up in the room he's in. So I sleep to go get the tower cache in the ward tomorrow. Heading there, I have to get through this area sneakily. You know what that means. Fuck, that's not the right way. So I grab the intel I need and get the hell out of there. Drop off the intel and go eat. Also, I found this cool radio. Pretty neat. In the morning, I tell Casey I have the thing he needed, and we work together to get the thing calibrated, and I have to go insert it into a machine near where we met May. I find the machine, and there's a lot of guys over there, huh? This is where the game tells me I can hide from walkers if I rub guts all over me, though I'm pretty sure this is common knowledge by now. Ma'am, please do not approach me. I have a gun. After putting it in, I head back and head out to find things. Waking up, we're informed of another pump flow regulator located in Bywater. We find this reclaimed guy who wants to meet around the corner, and he tells us that he used to be with the tower, but was kicked out. His boyfriend is currently with the tower, and he says that if we deliver a letter to him, he'll give us the key to a nearby warehouse with a bunch of supplies. So I make my way back to the lumberyard where the tower is at and give him the letter, and I get a reply letter back. Leaving the building, this other tower lady tells us that staying in contact will get them killed, and gives a breakup letter, but I decide to give him the real letter because I'm not a couples therapist. Making my way into the warehouse, I see why this place is locked. It's pretty scary in here. But there's a thing I need, and it's time to head back to calibrate it and put it in the machine. Those are fucking tower troops. I easily take them out with my 12 gauge, gotta stab their heads real quick so they don't turn, and it seems I've got some fans. Sorry guys. Tomorrow is when we go to Old Town to get some more intel. Yahoo! We proceed to trespass into this house, and the intel is located in a shed. Hopefully nothing scary happens in here, right? This intel is mine, and this cool bow is now mine. These arrows too. To be of use, they're mine, 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 mine. I apologize for that. In the morning, Casey wants us to go to Rampart High School to find the rest of his squad who left the reserve to go fix an issue with the pumps, but he hasn't heard back from them. But we also get another drawing from May that has us going back to the shallows for some intel. And I hate Rampart a lot, so I'll get the intel first. We head back to the Blue Mansion and, I don't know what happened here, but it wasn't good. It seems the place is being occupied by tower troops. Did that guy just walk through a porch? I am going to kill him for being a witch. Fuck! He is a witch! Making my way into the house, this is now a stealth op. Time to be sneaky. I find where the intel is supposed to be and... shit, I'm out of ammo. Get off me, you bastard! You scared the hell out of me. I run away to heal before I plan my revenge, grab the intel, and climb out the window before anyone sees me. Later at the bus, May gives me a letter asking to meet her in the same place outside the catacombs. She tells me that the tower is planning a mass exile, and May wants to get those exiles out of the city before they're killed, hoping the eventual reserve raid will give a distraction, so they can escape. She tells me that the key to the reserve will be put in the same coffin as usual at night, but I still need to go to Rampart to find Casey's friend Kenneth, who got trapped under a collapsed roof. Unfortunately, I lost the footage for the rest of this day, which pisses me off, but when I'm done talking to him, he asks me to kill him, and I did. Trust me. The next day is when we get the final pump regulator, located in Bastion, currently controlled by Reclaimed. Exploring the duplex house, we find... Hi? We finally get to meet the leader of the Reclaimed, JB, who has kindly given me what I need, and he'll give me the dial when we finish talking. He basically wants us to flood the entire reserve, destroying all the supplies and freeing everyone from the war it's causing by putting in this code. You can also learn how JB started the Reclaimed and their, practices. After chatting, we finally get the dial and leave. God damn it. Okay, so we finally meet Georgia, second in command of the tower, and she wants us to go back inside and kill JB. This gives you two choices. Kill JB and the tower won't target you when you're at the reserve raid, or warn him, kill the tower outside and ally with the Reclaimed. I decide to let JB live because Georgia was being a meanie. I return to the bus to grab the key and get the final pump fixed. We've entered the endgame now. Calibrate the machine and use the key May gave me to unlock the shed where the last pump is. We've returned to Casey so he can turn on the pumps to get the rising water out of the room he's in. Once he turns it on, though, lights come on in the distance. The location of the reserve has been revealed. Casey is still locked inside the reserve, so I need to run to the church to redirect water so he can get out. Walking out of the catacombs, there are bodies everywhere. Even Ambra, May's daughter, the girl who's been making those drawings for me. She ran into the crossfire after her mother was being taken. Making my way to the church, taking out any tower troops I run into. It doesn't matter. The tower overwhelms the reclaimed and take control of the church. Climbing through the window, we hear Casey from this machine. However, he brings bad news. The pumps were pushed too far and he needs us to flood the armory, destroying all the weapons in it. This is it. Destroy all those weapons, or kill Casey. This choice will determine your ending of the game. Proceeding further through the church, you'll find May, who's practically lost her mind, grabbing a rope attached to a bell. If she rings it, walkers will flood the area, killing everyone outside. If you kill Casey, it will be just you and her in the room, and you must choose to shoot her or let her ring it, killing everyone outside. And the sounds that come from there, I can't even make a joke about it. Gunshots, walkers, screams, watching as blood trickles through the door. Making your way down into the reserve, you get a glimpse of Casey's lifeless body floating there. The armory is open, but I still have a sense of guilt for putting my goal first. However, if you do flood the armory, you'll find Casey pointing a gun at May. The same dialogue happens, but it'll end with Casey shooting her himself or you finishing the job. You and Casey have a long conversation, how he's sorry about the reserve and him needing to pay respects to the innocent people the rest of his squad killed. You end things with Casey and say goodbye as he's heading up north. Making my way down into the reserve, you're able to enter the comms room where Casey was trapped. I like this ending better, not just because I was able to save Casey, but the supplies in this room, ammo, food, even weapons, are at max durability, kind of serving as a reward for saving him. Walking through the rest of the reserve, looking inside the other rooms, it seems like this place could have lasted people for a while, but looking to the left and right, you oddly see walkers, proving that no matter what, the dead always win. After climbing a ladder and leaving the reserve, you hop on a boat to head back to the resting place. Disappointed that you couldn't get those promised weapons, but happy that you saved thousands. Roll credits. 1 week passes and you can finally rest easy now that the reserve has been located. You don't have to worry about it anymore. So, what's this? Remnants of the reserve? God damn it! So after completing the main story, you can start the Aftershocks DLC, where you go back through the locations to raid National Guard caches that were scrounged up from the reserve. This DLC introduces new gimmicks, like these tripwire bombs, new story elements which I'll get to in a bit, and an insane amount of supplies from these caches, each containing a cool decoration for the bus. So waking up, we hear some chatter on the radio. Some guy's legs got blown off looking for the cache, saying that it's located in the auto shop in Bywater. So we head there and you've got two choices. Find the map of the factory, which is filled with propane tanks set to blow if anyone sets off the wires, and make your way through, which is incredibly risky, or you can kill one of the nearby tower guards to obtain a key to the top floor of the factory. So, yeah, I'll just kill this guy. The keys are mine now. And this is mine now too. Do you want me to sing some more? Next we head to Rampart. Yippee. Finding the cache, there's jack shit in there, but a note saying everything else is in the library. Heading through my fucking nightmare, there's a shit ton of barbed wire in here. We make it to the library where there's also an ammo cache, how lucky, and an unbelievable amount of meds and bandages, and a note. Huh. I'm sure it's not important. Oh, shit, it was important. I should read more. Speaking of reading, someone left a note in my bus. Too bad I'm illiterate. The next day, we head to the ward. The cache is in this shipping building taken over by Reclaimed. This is probably one of the easiest levels ever. We head to Bastion for the next cache, and it's located in the duplex house where we met JB. Looking in the house, we find a door that's locked. The cache is 100% in there, right? Finding a note, it gives me a hint on how to get inside. Blowing it up with propane tanks. Arson. Looking around, I'm able to find a nice, fresh propane tank. Taking aim. Wait a fucking second. I blew up the wrong door. I feel incredibly stupid. I've never felt like this guy more than right now. I have to go out and find a new propane tank. This guy is stuck in the truck apparently. Probably should put him out of his misery. Thankfully, I find another propane tank. After blowing up the right door, we open the cache. And it has my least favorite thing. We also found a recipe for a tactical flashlight. Before heading out, I decide to have a little fun with the nail bombs. Oops. When I wake up, I craft the new tactical flashlight, which shines a UV light revealing hidden drawings. There's even drawings out in the other parts of the city. Some point you to locations of different supply caches. Heading to Old Town with a new light, we use it to find the next cache. There's a lot of paper with hints on how to find it. But I swear, no matter where I look, I cannot find the cache. Turns out, this whole part is bullshit. There is no cache, and there's this stuff sitting in the box back near the skiff. At least I got this cool key. Next day, we head to Memorial Lane, which is turned into a war zone with several crates. Thankfully, there's a picture of the crate we need to find, number 41, which means I've got to run into the crossfire and take the supplies before they take me out. After taking out the tower and reclaimed troops, I stuff my bag and get out of there. Somehow, these tower troops got stuck in the RV. Not my problem. After returning to the bus... God damn it, they robbed me! They stole literally every material I had. Chasing them through the catacombs and fucking killing them, we meet this guy named Mel, saying that, do you fucking mind, buddy? Saying that some people from Tower and Reclaimed have allied to try and kill me. Well, good luck with that, bitches. Apparently they've staffed my stuff nearby and in Via Corolla. This motherfucker also has my flask, the piece of shit. Give me that. The first location of my stuff is near the entrance of the graveyard, back where I crashed the boat, so I make my way there, killing anything I come across, and I find the box and head back. Tomorrow, I head to Via Corolla to take my stuff back. It's gonna be a bloodbath. Finally getting my stuff back, there's one last thing to do, and it's with these keys here. See, throughout these cache raids, some of them have had keys in them. One was in Rampart, another in Old Town, and the last one in Via Corolla. You remember that one drawing on the wall in Old Town? Beside it, it has some words that says, house with 3 keyholes. Where is that, you may be asking? One of the houses in Bastion, the one with a car crashed into it. Told you it had a secret. Putting the keys into the holes, one of the laundry machines slide out, revealing a hidden bunker. Climbing down, holy fuck, it's so creepy. A giant suit of tower armor, a map of the city, writing on the wall, what is most definitely a hit list, and a postcard. Greetings from the French Quarter. Oh my god.